We are just over 11 months away from Star Wars Episode 9's release on December 19th of this year. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, a lot of people have been wondering about the character of Rey and exactly what writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio will be doing with the character in this movie. Now, we do know that J.J. is giving her a very important lineage in the film and will be changing many different aspects of the character and also telling her about her origins and her identity in this movie. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. One of which has all to do with a major hint and or indicator of Reys Death actually being a thing in Star Wars Episode 9. Specifically, a description of Kylo Ren holding Rey in his arms in the middle of a battlefield with First Order finalizers falling to the surface of the planet in the background. Ren appears to be very emotional with his hand placed on Rey's forehead, while holding her in a similar fashion to how he held her on Takodana. The next goes over Kylo putting her down on the ground, placing his hand on Rey's forehead again. It is very reminiscent to Luke Skywalker being by Vader's side before Vader's death. So I really want to go over a couple of parts about this that really do raise my interest about this movie. A lot of people have been wondering exactly who is going to die in this film, and it seems as so that there is a likely chance here, alright? There's a likely, scenario of Rey actually dying in Star Wars Episode 9. Now, the first thing that I do want to go over is how Ren is described as holding Rey in the middle of a battlefield. So this is most likely either A, after the lightsaber duel between the two characters just after that, or B, they're already allied with each other and they're actually fighting against either, let's say for example, the remnants of the First Order or something around those lines, and Rey gets injured and Kylo helps her out. It's why he's holding her and eventually puts her down on the ground. I want to focus on him actually placing his hand on her forehead. Now, I'm not quite sure if this is a force power because for some reason, I don't know why I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking all the way back to Revenge of the Sith when Anakin Skywalker was burned on the planet Mustafar. And if you guys actually go ahead and check out the sequence, you will realize that Palpatine, kneels down and rests his hand on Anakin's head, I believe. And I think I heard about this somewhere years ago, that Palpatine was apparently using a power in order to heal Anakin Skywalker or transfer some kind of power into him. I'm not quite sure if that's correct, but that's what I heard. This could very well be exactly what Palpatine did to Anakin that Kylo Ren is doing to Rey. Whether or not it will be successful, that's a huge question open on the table for discussion. So we do know that, we have heard about this before, that the ending of this movie is going to be totally unpredictable to the fans around the world, and will also have a lot of tragedy involved. Now, I'm starting to wonder, is it going to be either Ben Solo that dies, or is it going to be Rey that dies in this Star Wars film, or perhaps even both? Now, we do know that this film is going to be based on one of the major Disney animated movies from the 90s, and a lot of people are thinking that it might be somewhere around the lines of Beauty and the Beast, or Pocahontas, or Mulan, certain elements of those films being inserted into Star Wars Episode 9. So, with that being said, I'm not quite sure if they would even go down a Romeo and Juliet style, where both characters die. I think it's going to be one or the other, in my own opinion. So, the other piece that I really do find very suspicious here about Rey's death being inserted into Episode 9 is exactly why does she have such an injury and why is she knocked unconscious in Kylo Ren's arms? What really happened to her? And this also falls directly in line with what Daisy Ridley talked about with Colin Trevorrow's script, the original script for Episode 9 by the original director before he was fired. Now, in the original script by Colin, Daisy Ridley read the ending, and she actually cried about her character. She expressed this before, by the way, that she was crying about her character Rey at the very end of Episode 9. Also, we do know that parts of that script are transferring over into J.J. Abrams' version of the movie. So it's very possible that either Rey is going to die in this film, or it's going to be a gotcha moment where we think that she's dead, and it's going to really cause the whole entire audience to tear up and get very, very sad about that character's death. And then, like I say, it may be a gotcha moment where then boom, she wakes up because of Kylo Ren healing her somehow, some way, and then everybody's happy again at the very end of the movie. So I could see how they could kind of play and trick with us into this being an ending where it's a tragedy that could actually turn itself around into not being a tragedy per se. But anyways, guys, I would really love to hear what you guys have to say about all of this below. You know, what do you think is actually going to be the fate of both Kylo Ren and Rey? Are one of these characters going to die in this film? Are they both going to die and perish and pretty much leave their legacy behind to the new characters like Finn, Poe, Rose, and some of the other characters that will be entering into this film? Or is it going to be something more cliche, something that we have seen before in a lot of movies out there? Like I say, this film is actually said to have a very unpredictable ending, so that's one reason as to why I am just very much fascinated with the ending of this movie by J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.